NBA players often have the luxury of earning large sums from their professional basketball careers. Unfortunately, many NBA players fail to manage their wealth responsibly, often wasting their money on frivolous purchases such as luxury cars, expensive jewelry, and lavish parties. This can lead to financial problems down the line, as NBA players may not have the means to sustain their lifestyle after their playing days. In this video, we will briefly discuss how some NBA players squandered their millions and ended up living in poverty. How much does a typical NBA player spend? A recent study by Kathleen Pender of the San Francisco Chronicle wealth management company Personal Capital revealed how much money an average NBA professional player spends monthly. The research, which included about 50 respondents, uncovered that a typical NBA player spends around $42,500 in a month and about $510,000 per year. Luckily, the San Francisco research provided a percentage breakdown of what these professionals splash their cash on. According to the report, they spend about 11% on shoes and clothes, about 9% on cars, travel and tour took 8%, restaurants took 7%, entertainment covered 6%, while 7% went to charity. However, this research did not speak for the whole league, as only 50 respondents were studied for 4 months. However, the study was decent enough to provide insight into everyday things that happen with NBA players' finances. In addition, the average career life of a typical player is about 5 years. After the strings of expenditures, each player reportedly has about $25 million net worth at the end of their career. However, the U.S. tax authorities obligate players to remit about 40% of their earnings. If deducted, the net worth of an average NBA player would drop to $14 million, which is enough to sort out their expenses for about 27 years of moderate spending habits, according to the report. Hence, if they started playing at the age of 22, they should be financially covered till 49 years old. However, the reality spells worse for some players. According to the study, 60% of NBA professionals lose their fortune and live in poverty after 5 years of retiring from playing the game. This means a player could be named one of the youngest millionaires at 25 years old and still go broke by 35. Wow, isn't that unbelievable? How do NBA stars lose their millions? The report also revealed how these high-profile basketball players waste their funds. For instance, one of the most common ways NBA players waste their money is by living beyond their means. Many players sign large contracts but fail to plan for the future, instead spending their money on luxury items such as cars and clothes. This can be problematic, as the player may not have saved enough money to cover their expenses when their playing days are over. Another way NBA players can waste their money is by not taking advantage of the numerous tax benefits available to them. Professional athletes are often subject to higher tax rates than the general population and thus should take advantage of all sources of possible deductions. Finally, NBA players should avoid spending money on unnecessary items such as expensive jewelry or parties. Although it may be tempting, these purchases are not investments and will not help the player in the long run. High-profile NBA stars that wasted their millions. Below is a list of NBA stars that waste millions of dollars they earned while playing basketball. Michael Jordan and his gambling addiction. Michael Jordan reportedly squandered his first $1 million salary from the NBA in 1984 by buying expensive cars, jewelry, and gambling. He allegedly lost as much as $165,000 on a single golf bet. Jordan also allegedly threw away money on lavish gifts for friends and family. He also reportedly invested in several failed business ventures, which cost him even more money. However, Michael is not to be mourned, as the great basketball legend ruled the NBA league for years with his brilliant basketball skills. More so, Jordan has been more frugal with his money. He reportedly invests his money in business ventures and other investments and has become one of the most successful athletes in terms of financial success. Currently, he stands at a net worth of $2.1 billion. Dennis Rodman, the alcoholic. Dennis Rodman is one of the most iconic basketball players in history. He was known for his flamboyant style, his intense work ethic, and his ability to dominate the court. Unfortunately, he also had a reputation for wasting money and living a wild lifestyle. Rodman was known to spend lavishly on luxury cars, jewelry, and expensive vacations. He also spent a lot of money on alcohol and gambling. He often went on week-long benders, spending thousands of dollars at casinos and nightclubs. In 2012, he was forced to file for bankruptcy, with debt totaling over $800,000. In the end, Dennis Rodman wasted his money and did not take advantage of the opportunities he had as a professional athlete. His actions serve as a reminder to young athletes of the importance of financial responsibility. Scottie Pippen dished all his penny. Scottie Pippen was a six-time NBA champion who earned about $109 million at the end of his career. However, he allegedly mismanaged his NBA salary with an extravagant lifestyle and spending habits, including buying cars and jewelry for friends and family. However, one of his significant setbacks was that he acquired a private jet for a whopping $4 million, which he had to fix with another $1 million as the plane could not fly. Afterwards, due to some legal issues surrounding the plane, he could not use it and eventually had to ditch it after spending a fortune. What a waste! Even though he was compensated, Pippen went broke shortly after exiting the NBA and lost all his properties. However, fortune smiled on him again as his old club, the Chicago Bulls, came to his aid and offered him a role as an assistant coach. From there, he picked up his life again. Pippen has since been careful with his finances and is said to have become a much savvier investor. He is now an investor in several businesses and real estate ventures. He has been involved in a variety of charitable and community initiatives as well. The sad tale of Delonte West. Delonte West, who began his basketball career with LeBron James, has one of the most tragic tales in the history of the NBA. After being drafted 24th overall in 2004 and has a promising rookie season with the Boston Celtics, he had a few decent seasons as a starter for the Seattle Supersonics and Cleveland Cavaliers. However, his career was marred by off-court issues such as legal troubles, mental health issues, and substance abuse. His NBA career ended in 2012 after a brief stint with the Dallas Mavericks. In 2016, West was reportedly spotted wandering as a homeless person, and in January 2020, West was found dead in what was described by witnesses as a suicide case. Chris Washburn's drug sentence. Chris Washburn is an infamous example of a professional athlete who wasted his NBA money. He is reported to have purchased expensive cars and jewelry, while also spending his money on drugs and alcohol, partying, and other lavish activities. Unfortunately, these habits led to his early retirement from the NBA and a history of financial woes. He was drafted as the 3rd overall in the NBA 1986 rookie draft. However, he got involved in drugs and was slammed with a lifetime ban from the NBA in 1989. His life fell apart as he lost everything and went to prison for 13 months. After his sentence, he has been clean from drugs for about 15 years now. Derek Coleman. In his 15 years of playing basketball, Derek Coleman earned millions of dollars. He was popularly known for his extravagant lifestyle as he spent lavishly on sports cars, parties, and casinos. After he retired from the game and cash stopped flowing in, he lost his grip on luxury. He became broke and went back to gain his university degree. Afterward, he supplies bottled water to Flint, Michigan, which is a plaque with contaminated water. It's sad no one knows the water supplier to be Derek Coleman, a once great NBA star. Shawn Kemp. Shawn Kemp earned over $90 million of income as a professional basketball player. Apart from that, he earned millions of dollars from different endorsement contracts he signs with many brands like Reebok. He was drafted number 17 in the 1989 NBA draft and became a gold medalist in the FIBA World Championship in 1994. His plight started after he reached the finals in the 1995-96 FIBA edition. Sean has 7 sons with 6 different women, so he spent largely on taking care of his large family and also enjoys collecting expensive cars. After he exited the NBA, he reported started losing weight and also found it difficult to feed his family. In addition, he was arrested for illegal possession of marijuana several times. Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley is a former NBA and TNT sport analyst who made millions of dollars in his 16-year career. He is one of the greatest forwards in NBA history. With several medals and awards, he had a net worth of about $50 million. Unfortunately, he has been known to squander much of his money through irresponsible spending habits. He admitted to gambling away millions of dollars, spending money on luxury items, and supporting his friends' lavish lifestyles. Barkley has even claimed that he was forced to borrow money from his friends to pay his taxes. He confirmed that he once lost about $2.5 million to gambling in a single sitting. However, he could cover up his losses as he represents many brands, which got him great revenue. Even though some of the listed players could turn around their misfortunes, many others could not. And surprisingly, many NBA stars are still falling into the same predicament today, despite knowing what happened to their predecessors. Nonetheless, today's video ends here. Hope you enjoyed it and stay tuned to our channel for more informative videos.